All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into June 11th, 2019. I feel a little under the weather, but I don't think that's going to stop us, but it is actually perfect timing for what I'm expecting here in the market. So we have important keys for tomorrow as well as this week. We need to talk about what is going to happen. It is a very special moment. As far as news goes, we will discuss that. We're seeing things develop. We've already saw that epic rally, so we need to talk about that. There's a lot of plays at hands, a lot of mergers, and we were talking a little bit about what they mean, but there's a lot to digest. But now it's kind of let's just get into it. So here are the keys for tomorrow, but make sure you guys drop a like on the video. But more importantly, you need to post your watch list below. What stocks are you watching? And we are live 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. So you can see the trades we made, as well as we're going to be talking about a lot of this. But I was making this large for you guys, and I accidentally left this letter, not there. And I just see eyes. I don't know. Maybe it sticks out, or the lowercase. Someone can interpret this. Who knows? Ooh, no. Pay attention. This market, you're going to have to keep your eyes peeled, but the GC is upon us. So if you don't know what the GC is, you could ask a friend below in the comment section. But the legend, that is one part, but then the legend follows that if the GC is followed by 5 days, or not really the days, but just pretty much a trading week of consolidation or stalling and continued oil volatility like we've been seeing, we will see the markets go down next week. I'm starting to turn bearish, but I'm waiting for consolidation. But don't underestimate the market's ability to pop. That is exactly how I feel here. Again, we've been comparing this to November, and I'm just going with it as long as it keeps working and lining up, as well as everything we're seeing develop again with the yield curve in it. It's like we're interpreting the market's language. The market is speaking something. So if it does this again and we see oil stall out, I don't have the oil futures up here, but if we see that continued, phenomena, I'm expecting the market to come down here, but it could take some time here. And that is the key. That is what kind of even throws this all off, is that we need oil to move a little bit more. But again, this could happen at any moment now. But for this week, what I mean with this GC is that we could get something like this where again, and I'm talking about really making a big drop and breaking below lows. And we're saying in the next few days, we start to come down. So it's about really the timing and where you want to be as far as, how early, more or less. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for that. But again, a lot of people are even talking about market hitting new highs. Before anything else, the rates went up a little bit. Keep your eyes out for that, but keep your eyes open. Again, if I'm thinking it's going to be this beach chair moment, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if you guys ever heard this. Not really slow, but fast but slow days, if that makes sense. But a lot of again, when you see these candles, they're very big candles. That means there's a lot of up and down to them. So be careful for rips and dips, and now we might start to see news. Don't underestimate how quiet it has been. But I'm excited. Be there. We're going to trade it live. As far as the plays go, right off the bat, I want to look at value stocks. Here's Johnson & Johnson, CLX, and I talked about this today. McDonald's, I'm going through them. Starbucks, Coca-Cola, and Walmart. I'm talking like I'm Obama, but the rotation from value stocks are clearly showing something. So we are seeing the value stocks rotate. Now, this doesn't mean you go in short McDonald's, but I wish we would have today. Nonetheless, you guys should watch McDonald's, watch the value stocks, but in all seriousness, they made these moves. You could see how they popped, and they had that run up. They went with the markets, but a lot of them held up when the market was coming down. But now they had this big drop down. That is a big signal. I'm going to be watching for bonds possibly next to see if this even develops into anything. But all of these plays I like. I like McDonald's. Again, it was at 205. I said, interesting to watch that level, but I did not think it would drop this big. Like Obama just said, if you got puts, this was a day for puts on McDonald's, and I usually avoid it, but that is showing something. If we start to get volatility in some of these big names, that is going to be a great opportunity for the option traders. Next, I want to look at Apple. They were moving, and we're going to put them in touch with, or in comparison with some of the bigger names we've already seen, like AMD. They had a monster move today. They went up, and surprisingly, the candle looks red, but they're closing positive. They just closed up off the gap up. But keep your eyes out for Apple, though, and the chip makers in general to see if there is any divergences. But as far as even FAANG goes, Netflix, they had you take a look at them, they're kind of having a weird recovery. It kind of looks like what AMD was doing before AMD broke out a little bit, but the difference is that Netflix's peers have all gone up. Roku has gone up, Disney has gone up, and Netflix is kind of doing it, but it's not really the same relative dance, more or less, where it's not getting back up to their highs, and it's staying in a pretty tight range for the last 100 days. This is very, very sketchy looking on Netflix. This is the market not really, showing little volatility with it. So keep your guys' eyes out for that, because now, as far as, FAANG and big kind of movers, I think it's really easy to forget about Netflix and its big mover potential. But I like that. I'm going to keep my eyes out for that. I will keep my eyes out for Disney and Roku. You guys will too. But now, as far as the plays I made today, I did butterfly spreads on the call side on ETFs and the put side, and one of them was TLT. I got it on the butterfly because I believe my risk was I think around $30 or $90. One of those amounts to either make like 400, 700, or 1800. I'll have to double check on those, but I'm scaling in on those. But I do want to see rates kind of capitulate a little bit more. Now, they kind of gap down to this low level, or here even kind of below, just like last time. And this is what I'm waiting for with our GC to happen. And so again, watch what could happen even now with the dollar and everything else with the markets. But I like TLT. Next one I got was XLF. There was a cool put spread. I got one, and then somebody even brought it up on stream, and they said they came from the watch list, and they just found out about the stream. So make sure you guys are on there, youtube.com/the stock market. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Just subscribe to that channel. You'll see it when we're live. But they gave us a cool play on there, but it was like about a $12 max risk, and then if it hits, it says $8,000 or something. But it's I think it comes down to like $400 or $500 or something, realistically. But it's still a great risk reward. And there's a few different plays with it, but check those out. We'll go over those on stream. For the sake of time, I don't want to, the butterflies get really long and intensive to explain. But next on my list to watch for tomorrow, Boeing. I know we have to just keep bringing it up over and over again, but as far as my put candidates go, I like Boeing. I'm going to be going and I'm going to start establishing my put position on Netflix tomorrow is what I hope to do. I like Google as well here too, just because, again, I'm trying to see who's making up this drop, and that was the antitrust and all that. And again, just look at the laggers and leaders, but I like Boeing, how it's still kind of, it's doing a Netflix-esque thing, but more towards the bottom than on the top. But overall, a lot of things are acting like this in the market, and, it's both good and bad, and all, I like to take advantage of it. But Boeing had, it was moving weird, and then, towards the end of the market, as the market started to slip, it started to give back a little bit more. You could see it. It looks just like a carbon copy of the SPY, but tilted just slightly down, and it went down at a faster pace. So watch out for that. And some people are looking for bounce plays. Maybe we start to get movement tomorrow out of UTX, Raytheon, and some of the other mergers and deals we got, like even Data and CRM. They had big moves, and they kind of did their own thing relative to the market, again kind of looking like Boeing. But watch them to kind of diverge you guys. So remind us, post that on your watch list, but even in the chat, bring that up. And then last but not least, Beyond. So this stock went up again. It gapped up. I hesitated again. I even said it on the watch list. I hesitated, and I waited till it had to shoot up 20 more bucks like an idiot. I could have got a really, really awesome play. I waited too soon. I don't even want to talk about it, but I got a play in here. I ended up spending $2,300 for a call, but I got one in November at 185, and I paid $2,300. So pretty much I'm saying the stock is going to be at $200 a share by November. But why did I do that? Because I bought that for $2,300, and well, here, I'll show you. I did this. It wasn't a butterfly because I didn't like the butterflies on Beyond, and I wanted to, play, and I was kind of thinking of the strategy here. So what I did was I bought this contract, the 185 here. I'm one of these idiots around here, I think. Could have probably finessed it for a little bit better, but in between 16 and 20. So I lost, I think based on the last trade at 1850 or the midpoint, I'm down like 480, but what I ended up doing, I bought that 180 for 2,300, or the 185, but then I sold the 180 contract here. I sold this for around 1,200 when it was right around the second time it collapsed. We sold it for 1,200, and then I bought it back around 750 because Beyond started going up, because that's a weekly. So pretty much what I did was I bought the contract, and then I used the weekly to kind of subsidize it. And now what I'm hoping is tomorrow they're going to put out a lot more options on Beyond that are going to go well past 185. And then that's why I covered it today I made $500 on this trade. So even though I lost 485, I made like 15 bucks on the other one. So it financed my other trade now it got me in at a cost basis of around 18. And now tomorrow and throughout the rest of the time, Beyond's crazy. I now have this $2,300 option, But my goal is just to keep it as an insurance plan to sell weekly options as this thing goes crazy. Because again, if they're going to issue tomorrow, you guys see how the weeklies are up to here, and some people have brought this up. They're probably holding the stock down again. I think it could be anything. Anything could happen with it if it does need to stall out. But again, at this pace, I don't know. I like it. It's not as if the volume is decreasing. I said it before. It could look like the Tilray. We finally got to play in it. So usually when I get in, it goes down. So that's my luck. So, but at the end of the day, my strategy is to be able to, once they issue more options, and people were saying they're waiting to make a market on higher price strikes to let it go up. But once we have that, we'll be able to collect a lot more premium on this. And either way, I could just guarantee a win now once there's higher priced options and depending on the price. But keep an eye out for this. It's going to be a good one. But the key with Beyond is how it moves. It's going to do these key moves where it does move just in a segment, either or in the morning. It's going to do something today, pop up a little bit. It'll have either a midday big move, and then or really at the final end of the day. That's what I'm going to be looking out for. So there was that. There was also that NBY stock. You guys could like it. We put it on the stream alerts. You guys can see here. Even though we didn't play it, we alerted it off the hype. I went through the news, but I honestly think it is just a penny stock that just got on, so I'd be quick to take profits or just make it free if you got in. And I could have gambled on it, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it for some reason. I was just focusing on the other stuff. I think there's bigger stuff for me to focus than on this. The market wasn't cucking, and it wasn't that slow. Considering, I was waiting for a bigger pivot, but I honestly just think, the stock has been reverse split. It has already changed ownership, multiple times, typical makings of a penny stock, pumping up type thing. So I'm just not the biggest fan of it. So watch out for that if you'd like. But that's pretty much it. I'm not going to bore you guys to death. I'm going to need you there in the morning. I'm going to try to get some sleep early here today. You should do the same. Be prepared. Come to the chat tomorrow. Contribute. Source some info. You guys are going to have to hold it down. I'm going to be there, but we're going to have a lot to talk about simply because you better get your beach chair and everything ready for the GC if that does occur. But if it doesn't, you get ready to pack up and hopefully run with the Bulls, or maybe we might get chased away by some Bears. So maybe, I don't know. I think beach chair reminds me of one of my favorite lines from a song. I think it's from the song called Beach Chair by Jay-Z. It goes, and it kind of reminds me of the stock market and kind of just the makings of the cycle. But it says, I got demons in my past and I got daughters on the way. So if the prophecy's correct, then the child should have to pay for the sins of the father. So I barter my tomorrows against my yesterdays in hopes that she'll be okay. I'll just leave it there, but there you go. That just reminds me of the bond market for some reason. And then the beach chair, I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you're in the game. You better have posted your watch list. Oh, my God. Let's go!